Hello, folks. Greetings. This is English with Mike. Vocabulary development, synonyms. We will be coming to antonyms, hyponyms, and hypernyms very soon. We've been sweeping through synonyms for a few months now, and that is because it appears there are more needs in this aspect of semantic development than there are in the others. So, question number 12, synonyms. From the options lettered A to D below, choose a word or group of words that is nearest in meaning to the one written in capital letters. Artificial intelligence accounts for, that is the emphasized expression, accounts for the birth of over half of dairy cows in the US today. What is the synonym for accounts for? Necessitates, causes, represents, or derives from. All right. We know that necessitates means or implies that something is required or made necessary. That something is required or is made necessary. So the synonyms would be requires. Why requires and not just require? Well, remember the rule that a singular verb must replace another singular verb. A plural verb cannot replace a plural verb. The verb necessitates with an S is singular, just like requires. Okay, so require cannot replace necessitates. It either necessitate without an S and require without an S, or necessitates with an S for requires with an S. That's one of the rules of word replacement, by the way. So it requires, that means demands. If it requires, it means demands. That is calls for. If something is required, then it is called for. It calls for, which means that it entails or, right? Yes, compels. Entails, compels, and so on. Is that the answer? Artificial intelligence requires the birth of over half of blah, blah, blah. Is that it? I don't think so. How about causes? What are synonyms for causes? To cause is to bring something about. To cause is to bring something about. So what are the synonyms for causes? Here we would have trigger. To cause is to trigger, but we must add an S here again. Causes, triggers. Okay, triggers means leads to. Leads to, results in. Results in. Be careful, this is not result to. So we don't say that something resulted to. It is resulted in. That is to culminate in. And that means to provoke. In the singular, number provokes. To provoke is to generate. So singular generates. Generates, that is induces. It induces, etc. To cause is to trigger, to lead to result in, to provoke, to generate, to induce. You can even think of more synonyms. What about represents? What does represent mean? It means to stand for or to symbolize. So here we have symbolizes. Remember that this spelling is British. Americans use Z, so Z-E-S. Both are accepted. To symbolize is to signify. In the singular form, signifies, denotes, Denote, which means embodies. Denote means embodies or depict. Depicts, you have depicts, you have illustrate, etc. Other synonyms include epitomizes. Epitomizes. This word is pronounced epitomize. So we have epitomize, not epitomize. Just like this alone is with E instead of I, is epitome, not epitome. Vocabulary family here is derives from. Derives from means is the result of. Derives from means is the result of. So when something derives from another, then it is a result of that thing, which means it stems from. It stems from or arises from or is the result of, right? The result of, or simply put, it comes from, okay, the result of, it comes from, is due to, okay, is due to, is caused by, or is born of, etc. Okay, so from these vocabulary groups, choose the one that is nearest in meaning to accounts for. I'll go this way, which is option B. Artificial intelligence causes the birth of over half of dairy cows in the US today. Please study these word families, these vocabulary families, and store them in your head if possible so that you can use them offhand, not offhead, offhand, without any material in hand. Let's go to question number 13. So here's question number 13, synonyms. During the 10 years Jason worked in Germany, he accumulated a fortune. During the 10 years Jason worked in Germany, he accumulated a fortune. What does it mean to accumulate? In this case, in the past, accumulated, amassed, concentrated, expanded, or increased. Where to accumulate means to gather or collect, especially over a period of time. To gather together or collect over a period of time. Therefore, synonyms would be all of them in the past: accumulated, amassed, accumulated, okay, collected, gathered, hoarded, stockpiled, You know what stockpile means? That is aggregated, etc., etc. These are synonyms for amassed. accumulated, collected, gathered, hoarded, stockpiled, aggregated, and so on. How about concentrated? Concentrated would mean focused or gathered in one place. Focused or gathered in one place. So we have focused, centralized, that is clustered, concentrated is clustered or consolidated, You may be thinking of more synonyms like intensified in derived context, intensified, etc. What does expanded mean? Expanded means became larger. To expand is to become larger and larger or more extensive. That is enlarged. Expanded means enlarged. It means extended. If it is extended, then it grew. That is increased. Or widened, which means spread, augmented, etc. Finally, we have increased. To increase is to become greater in number, in size, or in intensity, or degree, as the case may be. So the past tense would be rose for synonyms, same as grew or escalated. That is surged, or amplified. Not amplified, remember, but amplified, which means boosted, etc. So which of them is correct? Now? During the 10 years Jason worked in Germany, he accumulated a fortune. Accumulated would mean amassed. Therefore, option A is correct. Here again, please check the other vocabulary families, become familiar with them, and learn how to use them in context. Synonyms. So here we can only address 2 questions because the vocabulary families are large. You can see the board is half filled with the synonyms for the various vocabulary groups. Okay, so this is English with Mike, proudly sponsored by Cheshire Internet Test and Training Center, Manchester, United Kingdom. Consult us for online coaching and other programs having to do with English in public presentations. Meanwhile, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until we meet again, see you soon.